Welcome to AT Insider. My name's Eleanor, and in this video I'm going to be talking about why I use my assistive technology and accommodations. But first, and I'll try to keep it brief, I'm going to give you a summary of my backstory of my use of assistive technology, accommodations, and my learning disability. So, for as long as I can remember, I have had a really hard time with reading and writing. I remember in 2nd and 3rd grade going home and trying to complete my assigned reading and just crying, not being able to get through a single sentence. I remember being called on in class to read and not knowing half the words. I remembered that while my friends would get to present their book projects, I never completed the book and I never ended up with the sticker. I remember struggling, and I remember it being very, very miserable. And then in 6th grade, I was diagnosed late with dyslexia, and all of the struggles I had faced started to make a lot more sense. And I started to learn about the things that I could do to help me in my struggles. And so in 7th grade, because 6th grade was my COVID year, in 7th grade, I began to learn how to read. And I mean that in every sense of the word, learn how to read. Like, I'm starting from scratch, sounding out vowels and consonants. I'll put on screen right now a couple photos. I may even put up a video, just kind of showing the work I was doing. So I'm learning how to read in 7th grade while all my friends are writing essays at that point, and I can't read, write, or spell. So then, in that same year, 7th grade, I'm starting to learn about assistive technology and accommodations, right? Things I can use, things at my disposal to help me make up for my deficit, that 7-year deficit in reading and writing. So that's stuff like extra time, right? That is stuff like text-to-speech and speech-to-text, where you can talk into a computer instead of having to type or spell out every word. And then text-to-speech, where the computer makes an audio version of the text on the screen, kind of like an audiobook, right? I'm learning about all these different things. At the same time, I'm being pulled out of class to go and learn how to read. And this is the first time that I started to face the struggle of having other people and their judgment on my needs. So I remember kids asking why I wasn't taking a foreign language, because that period of time was, being used to teach me how to read. I remember having teachers tell me that I was a distraction for using my accommodations in class or my assistive technology in class. I remember having teachers tell me I didn't need them, and if I were to act like I needed them, I could go and use them in the hallway. I remember kids asking what was wrong with me. I remember all of that. And I also remember at that stage starting to understand the severity of my issues, my learning disability, and also how impactful assistive technology was to my success. I very quickly realized that in order for me to achieve my form of success, to do my best, I needed these things. I needed them. Because when I would do assignments without them, they would turn out a lot worse and it would take a lot more time than when I would do assignments with the assistive technology. And so now we'll flash forward a little bit to high school, where kids apparently stopped really caring, but teachers started to care a lot more about me using my assistive technology and accommodations. There I started to take advanced classes, AP classes, and I recall teachers telling me that I couldn't use my accommodations because I was in an advanced class and I didn't need them. I remember having to explain in front of a room full of my friends what was wrong with me and why I really did need someone, a teacher, to read the test to me because I can't read. People who I've just met because I'm a freshman in high school. That was miserable. I remember other teachers telling me that people who were in advanced placement classes didn't need accommodations, which is basically insinuating that people who are smart and in advanced classes don't need accommodations, and people that need accommodations aren't smart and don't deserve to be in advanced placement classes. That one hurt. Right? I remember all of this, but I also remember at the very same time realizing how important, again, these assistive technology products and accommodations were to my success. I remember taking an AP CSP test without accommodations, where I read it in the rest of the class, and I failed the test and got a D-. And then I, of course, began to understand the importance of advocacy, so I advocated for myself, and I went to the teacher and I said, hey, I think there was a misunderstanding. I didn't use my accommodations last time. I wasn't pulled out of the class and I didn't say anything. And this is the result of me not saying anything and not standing up for myself. It is this horrible grade. So can I take the test again? So I took the test again, the next day, There was no studying in between. I just took the test again with the accommodations and I got an A. Right? And it's things like that that really taught me, A, the importance of advocating for yourself, and B, the importance of my assistive technology and my accommodations. So, I say that to get to the place where I am today. Why I use my assistive technology and accommodations. It's because I realize how important they are to my success. I have done well in school, all across the board. And I attribute a lot of that, not all of it, most of it's my hard work, but some of that to the fact that I have embraced my assistive technology and accommodations and my learning disability. And I have learned how to use the tools at my disposal to help me do better. And if I am not to use the tools at my disposal, the only person I am hurting is me. My science teacher, who tells me that because I'm smart or because I'm in an advanced placement class, I don't need my accommodations, he does not get impacted at all by the fact that if I do or do not use my assistive technology and accommodations, right? He is not impacted, not one bit. I am. My parents aren't. The school coordinator lady, she's not. No one is except for myself. And so the only person I am hurting if I don't stand up for myself is me. And the next thing that I kind of realized throughout my journey is that people really don't care. Like, truly, they don't care. Kids can be mean in middle school, and I think that's mostly because they're curious and don't have good social skills, so their curiosity comes off as really rude, right? But as you grow older, people kind of understand that people all have differences, and also they understand that they're also taking the science test, right? They have their own issues and their own concerns. Maybe one kid didn't get enough sleep last night. Maybe one kid didn't study because they're a procrastinator, right? Maybe one kid also has dyslexia and is sitting there but doesn't have accommodations. Everyone else has an issue. Everyone else has their own priorities, and none of their priorities are worrying about what you're doing. And if they are, that's concerning for that person. And the third part, right, to this, and is not, achieving my form of success, right, by using assistive technology and accommodations, but it is learning and it is understanding that this is an inherent part of myself, right? Dyslexia is a part of me. It is a large part of me. It is in my core identity. It impacts the way I see the world in every facet, right? It impacts the way that I am good at math. It impacts the way I think about science. It impacts the way that I talk to people. It impacts my ability to public speak. It impacts the way I can draw, right? It impacts in the way I can learn how to unicycle quickly, right? These are all things that are all interconnected. And so if I am to ignore the deficit that I have from this disability, I am truly ignoring a core piece of my identity. And I've learned that that is not helpful, right? In the process of understanding so deeply my flaws, I have also understood so deeply the strengths that come along with dyslexia. Now, I say this all in the context of me because I don't know what you're going through. I truly don't. I don't claim to. I have, again, my own set of issues, my own set of struggles, different from yours. And while I could just tell you the statistics that you do better with accommodations or with assistive technology, I know what it feels like to be embarrassed, to be ashamed, to be scared. And that doesn't get fixed by someone telling me that my grades are going to be better. That doesn't work. What I will say is that I am so just profoundly grateful to myself that I have decided to choose the path, the hard path, the winding path, the sometimes unclear path of using assistive technology and accommodations. I am so proud of myself for doing that because in brief moments in time, I see the other path. And I see the way that I would not be at the position I am today if I took the other path. So that being said, my name's Eleanor. I run AT Insider. I have a YouTube channel, which you're on right now if you're watching this video, where I go through and I make reviews of assistive technology products, right? It for me was a very long and hard journey to realize what works for me and what doesn't. So I made this as a way to help you in your journey if you decide to take it, right? If you decide that you want to learn more about the tools at your disposal, you don't have to use them. You can just learn about them. You can check out those videos on my channel. I also have a website. So if you prefer to read things, I read them at least, you can go to the website. It'll be the first link in the description below. And you can see all those reviews of those same tools and products, but in a written format. I also have videos on my channel like this one, where I have candid conversations, where I talk about my struggles as someone with dyslexia, and how I talk about ways that I have overcome obstacles in my way, and ways that I have continued to succeed despite my challenges and my struggles. All right, I hope you in some way enjoyed watching this video. I wish you luck on whatever journey you choose to take. I know you're gonna do great. I know you have it within you to reach every goal imaginable. I am so proud of you. Bye.